Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this. Now this blanket, I've put a large border on this. The border is a UK treble crochet. That's double crochets if you're in the USA. So the pattern repeat for this, you can make it up as you go along. Now I did one row of treble crochet, that's double crochet in the USA. Then I put my pattern in. Then I did one more row. The box row here is you'll do a stitch, chain one and skip a stitch, do a stitch, chain one and skip a stitch. Now what you can do is you can do a couple of rows of these boxes and then do this, and then do a couple of rows here and then do that pattern again. I'll show you how to do the box ones. It's really easy to do these ones here. So this pattern row is 6 rows in here. I've got one row of UK double crochets, that's USA single crochets. Then I've got the pattern, then I've got one more row in here of the either double or single crochet, whatever country you're in. Then I started working a full row, then one stitch, chain one, skip one, one stitch, chain one, skip one to make these, and then I did this row. I'll show you how to do this section, and then what you can do is you can transform this as much as you want. You can either do it all this pattern or you can put these box ones in between. This one is a make your own. It's a make your own blanket. So you can do this pattern to whatever way you want it. So I'm going to show you how to do the 2 sets and then you do as much as you want. So the yarn I used for this was the Cutie Pie Banoffee. This one was called Banoffee. For my sample, I'm going to do the Cutie Pie, and this is in bilberry. This is a bilberry. Now this one was Banoffee, and I love all those coffee colours. Even though it says Banoffee, Banoffee is like banana and toffee mixed together. I don't see any yellow banana. Maybe this creamy colour represents sort of like the banana as colours, but I think this is a beautiful coffee colour. I love this. So I'm going to show you how to do this. The stitch count for it is 4. Any number sets of 4 and then add 3 stitches at the end. So the stitch count for this is sets of 4, then add an extra 3 stitches. So you'll do your chain as long as you need it to be and do it in sets of 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So I've done a small sample in sets of 4. I'm going to add an extra 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to go into the 4th stitch from the chain. Don't count the loop that's already on your hook. Count 1, 2, 3 and 4. And we're going to do UK treble crochets. If you're in the USA, these are double crochets for you. It's the same stitch. We in the UK just call it something different. So into the 4th stitch, you're going to do a UK treble crochet. That's a double if you're in the USA. You're going to put 1 into each stitch along. So 1 into each stitch. That's a yarn over if you're a beginner. Through the stitch, pull your yarn through, yarn over, come through 2 loops, yarn over and come through 2 loops. And work your way along to the end. So I've got one more stitch to do. Now we're going to chain 1 and turn. What you're going to do as well You can move this pattern around any way you want, like I did with mine. So you can do it all, this lace pattern and the boxes, or you can do so many sets of either treble or double crochets in between the sections. It's up to you. So right into the very first stitch, we're going to do a UK double crochet. Now this is a single crochet if you're in the USA. It's the same stitch. So one into each stitch all the way along. So I've done my row of double crochet. That's single crochet if you're in the USA. Now I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3 and turn. So the stitch we're going to use is a UK treble crochet. That's a double crochet if you're in the USA. Now I've got my loop on my hook. So yarn over, we're going to go into the next stitch and do 1 stitch. 1 treble crochet. That's a double crochet if you're in the USA. Now we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 5. Skip 1 stitch. Now the next 3 stitches, we're going to keep them on the hook. We're going to do what's called 3 trebles together. If you're in the USA, this is 3 double crochets together. So skip 1 stitch. Put your yarn over, skip that stitch and do your treble or double crochet, whatever country you're in. And keep it on the hook. Keep that first one on the hook. Go into your next one and do your stitch and keep it on the hook. That's 2. Yarn over. Pull through 2 of your loops. So we've done 3 stitches and we've got them on the hook. So we've got our original loop and our 3 stitches. So yarn over and pull through them all. And you're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And you're going to repeat that all the way along. Skip 1. Skip 1 and work 1. Keep that stitch on the hook. So yarn over into the next stitch. Pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Keep that stitch on the hook. Yarn over into your 3rd one. So you've got 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through them all. And you'll lock those 3 stitches together. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And you'll do that again. You'll do it all the way along. So skip 1. And we're going to work 3 stitches. So 1 into that stitch. Keep it on the hook. 1 into the next one. Keep it on the hook. Yarn over. Pull your yarn through. Yarn over and through 2 loops. Keep that one on the hook. So we'll work 3. We've got 4 loops. And pull through them all and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And work along. Skip 1. Work 3. 1. 1 into the next one. Keep it on the hook. And 1 into the next one. So we've got our 4 loops on the hook. Pull through them all and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So skip 1, I'm at the end. I'm going to work 3. 1, 2 and 3. Pull through and I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now it might look as if you don't have 3 stitches left, but I do. I've got a stitch and I've got this chain. So we're going to skip this one and we're going to put 1 into that second last one. Keep that one on the hook and then put 1 into the top of that little chain. 1 into the top of that chain and pull through. pull through 2 loops. So we've got 2 left at the end. Yarn over and pull through those stitches. Now we're going to chain 5. The 5 that we're going to chain is going to count 1, 2, 3. That's your stitch. And 2 more. 1, 2, and turn. So that is going to represent 1 UK treble crochet and 2 stitches. Or that's 1 double crochet and 2 stitches if you're in the USA. So what we're going to do now is into the middle of these 5 stitches here. These 5 stitches, you're going to do a UK double crochet. That's a single crochet if you're in the USA. So skip 2 stitches in the chain and go into the middle of your chain through the stitch. Pull through and do your either double or single crochet. And that little chain will make a treble crochet here and 2 chain. You're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip the cluster and skip the first 2 stitches in the chain and go into the middle and do a double crochet. We're going to build these little bridges all the way along. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go into the middle of the chain and do either a double or a single crochet, whatever country you're in. All the way along, chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and along. And this is what you're going to be making. So from that double crochet row here, or single crochet, if you're in the USA, that is row 1 of this pattern. This one is row 2, and this chain row is row 3. So we're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and into the middle of the chain with your double crochet. So at the end, we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, only 2, because remember here, we chained 5, and that 3 stitches represents your stitch and 2 chain. So at this end, it's 2 chain. So into the end of here, you're going to do a treble crochet. That's a double crochet if you're in the USA. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn. Now we're going to do this pattern, but in reverse. So into that same stitch, you're going to put 1 treble crochet. So into the same stitch as that chain of 3. You're going to chain 1. Now into the middle stitch of the chain of 5, we're going to put 3 treble crochets. And that's double crochets if you're in the USA. So skip 2 stitches in this chain, and into the middle stitch, you're going to put 3 treble crochets, full treble crochets. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1 and move over to the next chain and do the same. In the middle stitch, you're going to put 3 treble crochets. That's 3 double crochets if you're in the USA. So you can work along with me. Grab a hook, grab your yarn, and put the video back to the beginning, and you can work along. Pause the video if I go a little bit too fast for you, and then start the video again. So you've got 1. We're going to put another 1, that's 2. And another 1, that's 3. And that's going to make that cluster a mirror image of that one there. Chain 1, remember the chain 1, into the middle of a stitch and put 3 treble crochets. 1, 2 and 3. That's a double crochet if you're in the USA. Chain 1, go to the middle of that chain of 5 and do 3 stitches. 1, 2 and 3. Chain 1 and move over into the middle of the next one. Now I've just noticed that I've done a bit of a mistake in this. I didn't put in my box section as we have on this one here. I've got this little box section. Then I did the pattern, but it doesn't matter. You can do this pattern any way you want around. I'll show you how to do that box section in a moment. Now I have forgotten to put it in here, but it doesn't matter. You can start the blanket like this. So I'm going to chain 1 and work my way along. I'm not going to rip all this out. I'll show you how to do that box section. So 1, we need 3 in here to do this little fan. 3, chain 1, move to our last section here. 1, 2 and 3. Chain 1. We're going over. We're going to count 1, 2, 3 stitches. Do you remember this was the chain of 5? So count 1, 2 and 3. And you're going to put 2 treble crochets into here. That's double crochets if you're in the USA. So that's 1, and into the same stitch do 1 more. Now we're going to chain 1 and turn. Now we're going to do that double crochet row again. That's that little row there. That's single crochets if you're in the USA. So right into the first stitch, we're going to do UK double crochets, 1 into each stitch and 1 into the chain through that chain stitch. Don't go in the space, go through the chain. So 1 into each of the stitches along here and 1 into that chain. Remember that chain 1 and put a stitch in. Now these are double crochets if you're in the UK and they're single crochets if you're in the USA. It's the same stitch, we just call it something different. Make sure you go through that chain stitch. Go through the middle of the stitch. 1 into each stitch, all along. So I'm at the end of my row. I'm going to put 1 into that chain 1 stitch. Make sure you go through the middle of the stitch. And I've got the 2 stitches here on the end. 1 into there and 1 through the top of that last stitch. And this is a pattern that we've got. It's really pretty. And I'm going to do 1 row of treble crochets. That's UK treble crochets. So chain 1, 2 and 3 and turn. We're going to put 1 into each stitch along. 1 into each stitch. These are double crochets if you're in the USA. So I'm at the end and I've got my 1 stitch left. I'm going to show you how to do the fillet boxes. The one I should have did, I should have did that down here, but it doesn't matter. You can see that you can mix this up if you want. To do the box one that I did in between, I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3 and turn. I'm going to do one more. So that's my stitch. I'm going to do one more for my chain 1. So you're doing 4. So 3 is a stitch and that extra 1 is my chain 1. I'm going to skip this stitch and do a UK treble crochet in the next stitch. That's a double crochet if you're in the USA. And we've got one little box made. Chain 1, skip 1 and do a treble or double crochet, whatever country you're in. Chain 1, skip 1 and do either a treble or a double crochet. Chain 1 and into the next stitch. Chain 1, skip 1, remember to skip 1 there. And that's going to make this a box section. So remember your chain 1, skip 1 and work along. And it's really easy to put this box section in. So at the end, we're going to skip 1, do a stitch, chain 1. Now I've got 2 here. Skip the stitch and into the top of that chain of 3. You do your treble or double crochet, whatever country you're in. Now you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3 and turn. And we're going to put 1 treble crochet into each stitch. 1 into the space, 1 into the stitch, 1 into the space, 1 into the stitch this time. So you can go into the space this time and 1 into the stitch, 1 into the chain space and 1 into the stitch all the way along. So into the space here, I've done my stitch here. I'm going into the space, keep my stitch count correct. Shh. Then 1 in to the top of that chain of 3. Make sure you go in the stitch, stops it from moving around. And that's how you do that box one. It's a row of UK trebles, 1 stitch, chain 1, skip a stitch, and then another. You can see how I did that. Then you'll top it with a treble crochet row, and these are double crochets if you're in the USA. If you want to do the whole thing, rewind the video back to row 2 and continue on. You can mix this up and match it up. You can do 2 of those and then do so many of this one. If you're doing a blanket, you can even use this eyelet and put some ribbon through it if you want. So I'll show you this again. I'll show you my big blanket again. I'll just zoom out a little bit. Excuse the mess. I'm having to work downstairs because Muttley's back legs have gone a little bit again. So he's got to get a lot of rest. So this is what I've done. Now you can see here I did do the box one on the bottom of this one. I did the lace, then I did 1, 2, 3 sets of the box, then I did the lace. Then I just went up and I done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sets of the box. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows just of UK trebles, that's USA doubles. Then I did 7 of the box again, and then I just repeated the bottom of the blanket by doing sets of the pattern. But it's up to you with this one. This is a little up to you blanket. You can do it whatever way you want. You can do it all boxes if you want. Or you can do all this lace pattern. Now the border. All I did with the border is rounds of UK treble crochet. That's double crochets if you're in the USA. I picked up stitches up the edge. I put 2 stitches into to each of the pattern. So to do the border, into each of these spaces I put 2 stitches. I put 1 in here, 2 into here, and then just pick up, do it evenly up the side. Whatever you pick up down this side, make sure you pick the same up down the other side. So if you're doing a blanket and you pick up 84 stitches, make sure you pick up 84 stitches on the other side. The top and the bottom's easy because you've got your chain here, and at the top you've got the row that you finished on. I finished on this box row. I did the boxes and 1 row of treble crochets, and then I started my pattern for the border. For the border I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did 5 rounds on the border. At the corners, as normal, 2 stitches, 2 chain and 2 stitches to make the corners. And that's what I did to create the border on this. You'll just pick up stitches evenly. You can see that I've put 2 in the chain spaces, 1 in the middle and 2 in the chain spaces all the way up. Just remember that what you pick up, count them and make sure you do it down the other side. So give it a try and see what you can come up with yours. Just rewind the video and do that pattern section, or you can rewind the video and do the box section. It's up to you. As long as your stitch count is sets of 4 with an extra 3 stitches at the end on your chain, do an extra 3 stitches once you've done the length that you want. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and please click on that bell icon, and YouTube will tell you when I put up another tutorial, and it's completely free to subscribe to the channel. So until the next time, happy crafting, and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.